everybody, welcome to it. My name is Liveni. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment because it's always the right thing. So today we are back with another book review. We All Need New Names by NoViolet Bulawayo, and this is a novel, and it's obviously fiction. So let's get into it. So this book was published in 2013, and it was also quite a widely raved book. You know, people spoke about it a lot, and it's won a couple of awards. The author has done a lot for herself, and the author is Zimbabwean born, but currently stays in the United States. Getting into the book, this book, I have to say, has been, out of all the, I've been reading now for a little bit, and this has to be my ultimate favorite style of writing. This book, you know how, so the style of writing that she uses, it's almost like she's speaking, it's almost like she's speaking Ndebele, or her mother tongue, but it's in English. A lot of people, a lot of black writers, I think, struggle or aren't able to sort of like make it so evident that they are black, because literacy is so westernized, and you know, people use a lot of poetic devices from there, and you know, a lot of styles are stolen from the West or whatever, or people that use because they use from the West, and obviously we can't really blame them because the system teaches us to write that way, right? But I think she is very deliberate in how she delivers her work. So, you know, black people, we bastardize English all the time, and I think it was high time, or it's high time, that we start normalizing writing the way that she does. So I'll read a passage just to give you guys a gist of what I'm talking about in terms of her writing style and how it's just so fascinating and honest and nice. My father says your church is just caca, and your prophet Revelations, Bishop Mboro, is an idiot. I hear Buster's voice start. You, Futsekani, leave her alone, you bloody Mgodois. Get away, bo Satan. Beroma, mothers of bone spits, from inside her shack. And the way that this is written, it's not even in italics. So she's not holding you to say, she's not explaining to you what she's doing. She's just doing it unapologetically, and I think it's so, man, it's so needed. Like, we don't need to, I feel like this is what literacy should be, African literacy should be about. We don't need to explain ourselves all the freaking time, and that's what she does in this book. She doesn't explain things, she just says them, and she put them part of the book. And I think if I were to ever become a writer one day, I would definitely sort of like take some tips from this woman, because yeah, she knows how to do it. So the story is about Darling. So Darling is a 10-year-old girl from Zimbabwe, and she has a dream of basically having a new life in America, and they are from Zimbabwe, but in the book they don't say that it's Zimbabwe. We know why we say it's Zimbabwe, because they keep talking about how people go to South Africa to immigrate, and how they have they've just, you know, they use dollars, and they use African rands as their money now. And I mean, she alludes to the fact that it is Zimbabwe, but she doesn't really say it is Zimbabwe. But if you know anything about the world, she's talking about Zimbabwe. And so she basically, the first half of the story, she talks about, she narrates the story as a 10-year-old that is thinking about and is saying, and you know, saying what she thinks about the world that she lives in, you know, and it's a beautiful thing. And then when she later on moves on to America, she sort of like then still speaks about what she's thinking. So essentially it's spoken from Darling's voice. It's Darling's narrative of what she's experiencing. And in the first bit, she talks about a lot about her friends, because she's always causing mischief with her friends. And they see white people come, the NGO people come, give them food, give them clothes, and then take pictures. The way she explains it, man, I'm just like, yeah. Anyway, I felt some type of way about when she was talking about her life in Zimbabwe. Oh, well, she stays in paradise. Paradise. So paradise is supposed to be a nice place, but paradise, in we all need new names, is the most horrific place anybody can live in. They live in shacks. They're poor. They don't have clothes. They don't have the basic necessities to survive in what we call the world, and they are just poor, poor, poor people, and they just want new lives. And I guess it's a playful book in such a sense that, like, when her and her friends play, they always pretend like they're other people, like they're Beyonce or they're like doctors and whatever, and they're like, oh, we need new names. My name is Beyonce, or my name is whoever. And they also play. She has. I mean, yeah, it's quite a playful book, because it is a 10-year-old telling us about her life, and some of the games they play are very symbolic, and they always play a country game, and nobody wants to be places like Zimbabwe, places like Tanzania, Somalia, Rwanda, where there's destitute, poverty, you name it. Everybody wants to be the it countries like America, Britain, London, Paris. So, and if you get to be one of the Kaka countries, as she would say it, you need to basically work your butt off to make sure that Kaka country wins the game. But anyway, America is likely to win. So anyway, that's that. I must say, I really enjoyed the story in when she was still in Zimbabwe, when she was still living in the shanty town of Paradise. And then when she moves to Michigan to her aunt, she sort of loses her spark. She sort of loses her spark and her funk, And I think that was probably done in a very deliberate way, because in America, when she gets to America, she sort of like depicts a story of, or I guess the reality of, African immigrants that come to America, and she talks about the struggles of not going home because she doesn't have the papers. Nobody can go home because nobody has the papers, even if they've been doctors in America for 30 years, or however many years, they still can't go back home because they don't have the right papers. And the fact that, like, you sacrifice so much just to be in America, and she gets to America, she just realizes that America is not what she thought it was, and she basically loses her spunk. She loses all her dreams of becoming whatever, that she now she just wants to survive in America. And I guess a lot of people probably won't get it. I've read some reviews about how the story is just like, when it gets to America, it just kind of like becomes bland. I think in a lot of ways it is intentional, and I think the thing is, it is bland, because when you come from another country, you think you're going to have a better life somewhere else. Yes, it's better, but it's better in one aspect, but it also crushes you in another aspect that you sort of like maybe never anticipated, right? So yeah. Alright, so I'm going to give this book a very, very big 8 out of 10. 8 stars because it is amazeballs. So I have to just mention that I'm not quite sure if she did a very a justified way of ending the book. Yes, I understand that, like, okay, there's this whole thing that she does move to America, and the fact that, her spark is gone, but I'm not sure I get the point. And it's sort of like, from when I look back from when I started reading the book, how I was just so excited, and then towards the end I was just like really, really like, okay, this is no, okay. And I'm not sure if I got sort of like the main statement that she was making, and I also couldn't really quite connect why we need new names. you know. And perhaps if you've read this book, maybe you can we can discuss it and have a conversation about why we need new names. Because I don't think I quite understood like quite like clearly, right? Um, but yeah, guys, please read this book. I think I would definitely still 100% recommend it to you guys. And happy Black History Month. I hope you guys are reading, and if you're not reading, tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're doing for Black History Month. And I would hope that we would read beyond just February and Black History Month, that we read all the time, that we read our stories all the time, because it just makes the world better. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.